We are yet in a new year of our studies where you are going to start your 12th standard, and last year you are familiar with the subject business studies, and you have learned about business, what business is, what are the classification of business, how business is done, all these things. Now, have you ever thought how all these things are happening inside business, one after the other, as according to the requirement? Everything is happening inside the business. People are brought in, work is done, many of the resources are brought together, such a lot of things you have seen. So, in this year, in this session, in this chapter, we will be talking about how business activities are carried out without much interruption, with earning or with getting into what we want to acquire, or achieving what we have to, achieving what the goals, what we have to, reaching the level we expect it to reach, how it is happening. So, in this first chapter in 12th standard of business studies, we are going to learn about management, what management is. And the first chapter we are dealing about is nature and significance of management. Nature and significance of management. All of you will be familiar with the word management. Management, if you are taking, you can see n number of meanings or explanations. But in the context, what we have to learn, management is in connection with the business. Now, what is management? In simple words, we can say that in business, management means the process of getting things done through others. When we are making things happen through others, when we have to do something, we are doing those things through others. Process of getting things done. Process of getting things done is called management. By making sure that enough resources are there, by making sure there are enough persons, by making sure that there is enough machines, whatever is required, we are finding it out, and in management we are making sure that we are getting things done. And we are getting things done, it will be with and through others. It is not management if I am doing everything by myself. It will become management only when we are making others do that job. I can do all things, but the problem is that when too many things come together, I may not be able to focus into everything. So we need a number of persons along with us, or in business we have to handle a number of persons. We require number of persons, and management is concerned with getting things done with and through others. So management is the art of getting things done, and it must be through others. It must be through others. And how it has to be done? It must be done effectively and efficiently. Effectively and efficiently. Not simply doing a work, it must be effective, it must be efficient. What is the meaning of effectiveness? Effectiveness simply means that doing right task, completing activity, and achieving goals. When you are doing an activity for getting a particular objective attained, you have to do the right thing. You have to do the right thing, and it must be completed. It must be completed in order to reach the final end point where we have to reach, or the goal we have to achieve. So doing things, doing the right task, completing the activities and achieving goals can be called as effectiveness. That is doing the things in the right way, right manner it is expected to be. That is called effectiveness. What is efficiency? Efficiency is doing task correctly with the minimum cost, or with the minimum resources. If we are able to give maximum output, we can say that, or doing things with the minimum cost by using lesser resources. If we are able to do the things, at a lesser cost if we are able to do the things. That is called efficiency. So, management is concerned with getting things done. It must be through and with others. It must be effectively and efficiently done. And what is the sole aim of management? The sole aim of management is to achieve the goals, to attain the goals. The end point which is already been fixed, it is to be achieved. So, management is focusing at achieving goals by making things happen through a number of persons inside a business. So, that is what is called management. Now, if you are looking at management, it has some basic characteristics. One is management is goal oriented. Management is goal oriented. There is an end point, there is a goal, or there is a basic reason for existence. When management is doing something, there is a reason behind that, and it is to be achieved. It must be simple, it must be clearly stated. Goal must be clearly stated, and all the activities happening inside the organization will be managed in such a way in order to achieve the objective. So, management is called as goal oriented. Second one is management is all pervasive. Management is all pervasive. Management is all pervasive simply means that management can be applied in all types of activities. Management is applicable to all levels or all types of organization. It is required. Management is required. So, management is all pervasive. It is applicable to all levels, all types of organizations, and it is connected with all. It is applied to all. It is applied to all. That's simple words. It is applied to any kind of organization, whether it is manufacturing, whether it is marketing, even whether it is a religious organization. It requires management to be applied. It is applicable to all types of organization. All levels of organization has to apply management. That is why it is called all pervasive. It is multi-dimensional. Number of dimensions management. By the word management, we have number of dimensions. One of the dimension is that management is considered as a work. Management of work is a dimension. Management is actually, as we have seen in the beginning, management is concerned with the performance of some work, or management is concerned with getting some work done through and with others. So, management's one dimension is it is a work. It is some work which we have to complete. So, that is called management. Again, management is also called as management of people. There are different kind of people. We have to handle them in such a way they move towards they having different needs, different types, different persons with different thinking patterns have to be brought together and handled in such a way. They have to be handled as a group also. So, management is concerned with handling of people also. Management of people also is called management. Again, another dimension is management of operations. That means management is concerned with usage of material, or management is concerned with flow of input of material and technology and transforming it into the best output. So, management is concerned with operations, activities also management is concerned with. So, management has different dimensions. Management is multi-dimensional. Management can be considered as a work. Management can be considered as people. Management can be considered as operations. So, that is why it is called as management is multi-dimensional. Management is continuous process. Management is a continuous process. Management consists of number of functions, different activities. Certain activities will be concerned about thinking. Certain activities will be considered about bringing things together. Certain activities will be considered with bringing people for work. Certain activities will be considered with guiding the people how to do the work. Certain activities will be considered with controlling to the maximum or to the level what it is required. They have to be taken to that level and they must not go beyond that level. So it is a series of composite function. It is a series of composite functions and it is separate function. All these functions are different in nature, but only when all these functions are performed together we can attain the goal. So it is a series of composite continuous functions. Functions one after the other will be followed, which is called as planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. So all these functions are separate, but they happen one after the other and come back to it is followed by another one. So every time it is followed, it happens one after the other: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and from controlling it will come back again to planning, then it goes on. So it is a series of separate composite functions. That is why it is called as management is continuous in nature. Another one is management is group activity. Management is group activity. Management is group activity because with a single person there is no need of management. I can handle things by myself. But when management happens, it is a collection of individuals with different needs and there requires a teamwork. People of different thinking pattern, different style, different places, different way of doing things are coming together. So they have to be they must be coordinated and there must be a teamwork. There must be a teamwork and it must help when this teamwork, when this coordination happens in order to achieve goal. There must be growth for these persons also. So it is a group activity, means number of persons will be there with diverse needs and different various levels of thinking, various backgrounds, all these things. So it is always a group activity because number of persons come together and perform this function of management, or when there is number of persons this management is required. Dynamic in nature, another thing, dynamic in nature, that means management has to adapt itself to the changes happening. Whenever management is applied, there can be changes, and management is something which is adapting itself to the changes, So management, it is subject to change. Management is subject to change and it adjusts in such a way to handle those changes. And many factors can affect management, and according to these factors, effect of these factors, there can be changes and management adapts itself to the changes. And it is an intangible force. That is another thing. Management is an intangible force. Management is an intangible force because of the reason that management cannot be seen or touched, but it can be experienced through the results. Management can be felt, presence can be felt through the way in which organization is functioning. So it cannot be seen or touched. That is why it is called intangible force. So these are the characteristics of management: goal-oriented, pervasive, multidimensional, continuous, group activity, dynamic, and intangible force. So these are the features of management. Now coming on to objectives of management. Objectives of management. Now looking at objectives of management, there are three types of objectives for management. When management is performed, it aims at achieving three types of objectives. One is organizational objective. Organizational objective is some objective which organization want to achieve. Organization want to achieve some objectives. Such are called organization objective. Basically, three types of organization objectives are there. They are profit, that means to have excess revenue over expenses, that is called profit. Profit is one of the major objective, or it is the major objective of organization. So, one of the organization objective or the main organization objective is profit. Along with the profit, organization also expect its survival. That means to be there in the business for a longer period. Survival. It ensure that it must ensure that it is there in the picture by earning enough revenue over expenses. So, making sure that it is surviving, it is existing in the competitive realm by earning more profit. That is why I said profit is one of the reason, one of the major objective, and another objective which is connected with that one is survival. For existing, they must be able to earn something more than the expenses. And another organization objective is growth. That means every organization expect to grow or add some more units or produce some more products, or whatever be, in whatever way it the business must grow, either in volume, increase in volume of products, increase in number of employees, increase in the level of assets. Whichever way, there must be growth happening in an organization, and profit is again the source of growth. Profit is the source of survival. So, basically organization objective are the objectives which an organization strive to achieve, that is profit, survival and growth. Coming on to social objectives. It is creation of benefit for society. What business, or by running a business has to keep in mind that it has to serve the society. There must be a social obligation. Towards the society in which business is working. That is what is meant by social objectives. It can be providing employment opportunity, developing some backward areas, avoiding pollution, or providing basic amenities. So, a number of things which is providing, which is showing an obligation of business towards society. So, that is social objectives. And last one is personal objective. Personal objective comes into the picture because in organization there are number of individuals which have diverse needs, which have individual needs. So, personal objectives are concerned with getting competitive salaries, perks, peer recognition. That means there must be good relationship between the persons who are working and they must accept us. So, that is something connected with each and every individual employee. So, that is also another objective which organization has to make sure. Organization must be able to fulfill individual needs of employees also. That is called personal objectives. So, we have already seen what is the meaning of management, what are the characteristics of management, and what are the objectives of management.